What's that? Bringing you the latest and greatest in tabletop role-playing, game testing, and previews? Why, it's Wandering Monster Roll Initiative!
Hello and welcome to Wandering Monster America's Test Table. I am Ian Servas.
I'm Bridget Brave.
I'm Kevin Welch.
And I'm Mr. Paschke.
And you can see that we are all sporting beards of various length and pedigree, and that is because today we are playing Sooty Beards, which is a new title that has come out of the +1 panoply, and is by Furtive Golem, John Gregory, and a host of talented people. This game showcases the wonders of the Dwarven life cycle and all things Dwarven-esque. It features fantastic illustration and art by Charlie Ferguson Avery, and there are lots of little fun things for people who like all things under the earth. This game is a lot of fun because it uses one of the favorite engines and things that really got me into the indie TTRPG scene, which is Troika, which is a system that is a fantastic way to capture the gonzo but yet rich lore of this dwarven kingdom. It takes place on a single mountainous countryside where the mountain itself has been going through levels of, well, their version of fracking. It's almost completely depleted of its resources and minerals and riches, and is slowly becoming a former shell of what this mountainous area used to be. And it is inviting all kinds of interesting trouble, from meddlesome outsiders to the various types of political challenges of the dwarven communities that lay within, as well as the strange humming that lays at the heart of the mountain. But in essence, this is really about Vessalberg and its denizens that live here. It itself translates to perhaps miserable rock in the old talk, but let's not hear about how miserable it might be from an outsider perspective, but rather from people who live there. And by that, what I mean is we should have our cast introduce the characters that they will be playing tonight. We will need someone to throw themselves on the anvil of going first. It's someone whose beard is the longest, thickest, and most full, and has the most lice. Who amongst you can fill that role?
I mean, that's clearly me. That is, yeah.
Yeah.
You do have the longest beard out of all of us, so
And the most lice.
I have always respected your lice levels.
I wish, I dream at night that my lice levels would be anywhere near where you're at.
Well, keep dreaming, my friend.
Duh.
Yeah. So I am Dodinus Longhole. And I'm a
Who
beautician.
came up with that name?
It's amazing. I am a beautician for our beloved boars. So our little boar dogs. I make sure that they look their tip-top best. Very excited to see what scissor fighting entails. That's something to look forward to later. So yeah.
I will go next. I am playing Ulak Merrymane. I am what we call a vertical farmer. Most of the time, you see farms, they're just laid out boringly and on flat lands. Whereas my family and my family before them have made the farms go uphill vertically. It's a marvel of engineering and impracticality, I'll tell you that. It does get windy as you're doing, because we're doing on the mountainside. So, we're pretty good with the rappelling and the rope skills. And, we've only lost like a couple siblings, but that's on them. But yeah, I'm a farmer. Dwarf.
I'm just curious, do you know what your family farms? Like, is it rice, corn, trees?
Boar feed?
Barley.
Barley? Okay.
Mostly barley.
I appreciate your barley. It's useful for the local economy.
You're welcome.
Also, my dwarf guy probably uses it the most, as he is fuller. I think is the are there extra letters? There are extra letters at the end of my last name. Giant beard? My beard is big. I don't know. I can't read anymore, guys. I forgot how today.
Giant beard? Sorry,
Yeah.
giant braid?
Giant braid. My beard is a giant braid.
Excellent.
I'm glad my dyslexia decided now to remind me that I don't know how words work. I'm a Hotpan Hero with walks in his eyes. Hotpan Hero? No, that's not working.
I will take this moment to interject and say that here at Wandering Monster, we respect all kinds of neurodivergency because truly it is what makes existence great, is that we all have different levels of neurospiciness. So if you're on that spectrum, pat yourself on the back because you're one of the chosen few who have your genes have been passed on through the ages, and it shows that we deserve to exist here, and we can inhabit the space we deserve.
Yeah. Normies, you losers. Able to focus on things and not get distracted.
Obviously a sign of weakness.
Idiots. But yeah, I'm a Hotpan Hero. I'm the cook of the group. I can stretch a meal out. That might take me an hour, but I can feel like I can pull a Jesus.
I love it. In the back of the book, there is actually a little lexicon that talks about everything, and there's even an entry just for Hotpan. And for people who don't have a very long lice-infested beard, Hotpan is a traditional coal jar, which is one of the original peoples of this mountainside. It's a one-dish meal that's popular in Vessalberg cuisine. Usually has a combination of a pork, cheese, a starch, usually like potato or barley, and something like a broth or leftover soup. It can be served alongside a salad of questionable vegetability, owing to the scarcity of fresh produce under the mountain, which really highlights the importance of vertical farmers and what they bring to the community.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, life is difficult in Vessalberg. The economy has been slowly going under. The town council has been struggling with rampant budget issues. There are various miners' guilds that are vying for and jockeying for control, outsiders that are trying to find their slice, and the mountain itself is constantly being eroded away by fracking and by mining. There's a pervasive hum that thrums through the core of the mountain that gets louder year after year as more resources are emptied out of the mine. The fairy tales that are told to both scare little dwarves to sleep or help them to fall asleep start talking more and more about the Whitedamp, the strange creatures and entities that lie at the heart of the mountain that both try to protect the resources but also advocate for stronger mining. Everyone knows about Uncle Whitedamp, the strange, maybe singular, maybe plural creatures that roam at the very heart of the mountain, but no one's ever seen them for sure. Some people think it's allegory for pockets of dead air or strange gases or just the effluent for the various mining properties. A lot of you live in one of the slums of this place. You live in the gutters, which is a region where, well, it was once an affordable area of downtown, but after constant issues with marginalized communities moving about, with economic stressors, with lots of problems with the local economy, this is now an area where there's no good infrastructure anywhere. This is the area where the gangs are beginning to kind of muscle for turf, try to scrape the abandoned properties together to carve out the little area. In essence, it's cheap. The area is lit with the dim glow of trash fires fueled by pig grease. It's far from abandoned. You still see people that are trying to revive the communities, but all of you have been dealing with this kind of economic pressures of living in this area, and this is where you call home. I imagine this is an area too where it's hard to do some of that vertical farming, dealing with the last bits of property that are in that area of the downtown kind of sulcus, but yet still on the outside enough to get sunlight. Tell me a little bit of what your hovel looks like, or what your experience has been dealing with the poverty of Vessalberg.
Well, being as the gutters are just getting ever bigger, and our barley patch is ever dwindling, we kind of have to. It's kind of like we take turns, kind of, posted up on the corners of the plot. So some of us are kind of on the lower end, and we can kind of keep everybody from the gutters at bay. But after that's rotated out, we moved up to the higher portion of it, where we can kind of tend to the field itself and make sure that everything's going good. So at least my family, if we're not trying to fend off the people from the gutters, we're maintaining everything from the top, looking down, making sure everything's safe. So we kind of rotate, move around.
Man, you guys have got hovels? Sucks. I sleep with the other Boar Beauticians in stacked bunk beds in a warehouse.
What did the warehouse used to store before it became vacant?
It's pretty unfortunate. It was a tannery, so the smell, you can imagine, is. We've tried to brighten it up some, we've little knickknacks and things like that, but it's just nothing covers it. So I'm on the 4th bunk down, which is technically the 8th bunk up on my section. So
is it floor to ceiling?
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Could they have normal beds, or is it just like you wanted the bunk beds to work, so it's just everyone sleeps in one tower and there's all the space in the rest of the warehouse?
There are 3 towers.
Oh, okay.
But yes, there is a lot of space in the warehouse for square dancing. So that is our main hobby.
That makes sense to me.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's a hog dog hoedown.
I love how that sounds like both like a dish involving lots of hot dogs, but also venereal disease, perhaps something with too much effluent exiting a body. Like, there's a lot that could be said about that term.
I feel like my character should live inside of what could have been a smoker, like the barrel that you would like cut in half and turn into a meat smoker, but instead of that, it's been cut in half and turned into like a rounded-ish like roof that like homeless like shanty style. Like, that barrel's my house.
I love it.
Beauty.
I'm proud of it too. It is beautiful. Look at it.
It's glorious.
I cut that barrel in half myself.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was it with the community knife?
The community knife. It hangs from a string on the ceiling.
It's actually attached to like a tire rim, like
Yeah.
you would, like a
A key to a gas station bathroom.
exactly.
Yeah.
To start with, I'm going to have 2 of you roll me d6s and 1 of you roll me a d20.
Ooh, I have a D20.
I'll roll
Okay.
D6.
I will roll d6s.
7 on the d20.
And
Two
it's-
4s. So an 8.
Well,
Oh.
there's 3 of you, and there's 3 dice, so don't hog all of them, Kevin.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
Kev.
I thought
Give
it was...
one to the one of us who has the longest
Okay,
beard.
fine.
Bridget, so I
One-
hear 1 4, and what did you roll, Bridget?
I rolled a 4.
Damn it. Kevin wins again. Are you going to let him?
It was a
Not
team
for
effort.
long.
Oh.
We have to set him up so we can betray him later.
That's right. And we won't let him
Jeffy.
know it's going to happen.
Nope, no clue.
He's oblivious to our plans.
I was staring at my
Balls.
Troika die, actually.
Hmm.
Okay.
Ooh, from the last Kickstarter, no less?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then the first thing in your area is you each have your kind of respective hovels. There is a competing, warring set of scents. In the gutters, the prevalent scent is the aroma of decay. It's a pervasive mingling of mold and trash, but yet there's this cloying, faintly sweet aftertaste that you can taste on the back of your tongue. It's something that clings to you, that feels a part of that shame, like poverty. It is a marker that you live here. There are those hoity-toity dwarves with the very well-manicured beards that spin around their bodies, those people that laugh behind their cloister gates in Uptown, but yet this fug always sticks to you. But what's been competing with it lately has been this rich, meaty scent of the meadery. It's the largest pig product processing plant under the mountain and the largest source of jobs in the gutters currently. You know that a lot of the clientele that you currently have that don't really pass their beauty tests, dotiness, this is where your clients go if they don't pass the porcine beauty standards of those hog dog creatures. But beyond these pressures, you're looking for some way for you to escape this poverty, either a way to get out of the mountain into some area of better economic fortune, or some way to get a better sense of stature. In essence, what you need is a gig, a way out of this poverty. All of you are one day approached by a very furtive denizen. A denizen is a kobold-like creature that lives in this area. Not quite a dwarf, not quite an outsider, but something decidedly other. They seem to be nervous, constantly looking over their shoulder as if they're being followed by something, and they have letters in sealed brown paper as if they're looking for someone to deliver them to. Each of you receive a sealed letter. The seal itself seems marred, as if a heavy wax seal was applied and dragged over the paper, making it undecipherable, but yet still have an area of an air of officiality to it. Inside, the letter very boldly pronounces in block letter font a bounty for bringing down the creature at the heart of the mines. The creature none other than Uncle Whitedamp. The number is too large to actually fit on paper. It cuts off, but the amount that it promises you would get you out of these gutters, out of the slums, and even out of downtown, maybe into even uptown.
I could get a second barrel, put on the end of my other barrel.
There's a meeting place and a time, and that is how the 3 of you from very disparate ends of this area come to meet each other with your common alliance to go down deep into the heart of the mountain, down into the deep delvings, and find and subdue or slay Uncle Whitedamp.
So how do we know each other? Are we
Town
being
hall?
invited?
I thought we just met, according to.
Did we just meet? Is it because of this that we're meeting for the first time? Okay.
That's
mean-
that's what I understood.
I'm gonna throw out there one more time in case you guys didn't hear me. Bingo hall.
Now you can have met each other, and it could be a surprise. Like, oh, you got this letter too. Do any of you know each other from other circumstances other than this letter delivered to you by kobold-like creatures?
Well, I frequent the bingo hall.
I also frequent the bingo hall.
I'm not allowed back in the bingo hall. I'm not supposed to talk about it.
But we've seen his picture in there.
Yeah. It's the guy by the register where you claim your winnings.
It says do not serve. Yeah.
Want to go find out why?
Yes.
I'm not supposed to talk about it until the tribunal hearing.
Dodinus, what is your lucky bingo number?
6.
But what letter? B?
No, I would say L. 6L.
All right. I love it. So the three of you find each other on the outskirts of the gutters. The letter was quite clear that you're looking for the old, eviscerated, and desiccated corpse of a hog dog that is hanging from an old street light that has been out for exactly 6 years, but no longer than 7 years. So it's a spot that you would easily know how to find. As you are coming together, you have all of the possessions that are on your character sheet, and you have to, the three of you, make a plan to descend from the gutters down through the stopes into the deep delvings, the area where not many people like to go to do mining because of all the occupational hazards. The guilds don't like to name what the hazards are because that means that extra occupational pay needs to be paid for the dwarves that mine down there. But you know that it is in an area of grave danger.
So I don't have much that would be helpful in getting down.
Do
I-
have a lamp?
I have a lamp. Yeah.
I know how to climb and make rope. Now, if you guys will humor me, climbing down could be fairly easy. What we will do, and as I'm talking, I've grabbed both of them by their beards and kind of tug them closer. What we'll do is I will split my beard in half, and I will weave my beard into yours, and then weave my beard into yours, and then we will climb down in a way so that we're all together and safe.
But I have the longest beard. Should
I
not
understand.
both of you weave onto my beard?
My
What?
beard's already woven. It's I come from a long line of beard braids. It's kind of my thing. I can't unbraid this.
Well, no. We don't have to unbraid it. Being as I have the skill of rope making, I'm basically making our beards into rope so that we can tether ourselves together to descend.
Oh,
where we
that way
can
if we slip, like our beards will catch us, right?
Yeah.
That's been my experience. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Jump.
Now, before you start cutting beards, I should mention that beards are essential to the culture here.
We aren't
Not
cutting,
only is it-
right?
Not
Yeah.
cutting.
Good, because not only are they part of societal culture, but they're functional. The ecosystem of all the bacteria and the lice that are in one's beard helps to filter out all the carcinogens that the mining operations have to offer. It is the towel for those who are hitchhikers across the galaxy. It is the safety tether that you have from societal standards and also for your bodily health. So think very carefully before you sever your beard, lest you lose your social standing and a good survival tool.
Do we have a good relationship with the lice in our beard?
Absolutely. In fact, your lice are so essential to you. It is grounds for some of the common slang that you use, such as saying, hallowed be thy lice, or if you wish someone good health, lice keep you, or if you're talking about someone's courage, you may help someone buck up by telling them, please don't flee.
Could we maybe convince our lice into making us some kind of ladder of themselves that we could climb down?
They are but weak creatures. You have to expect out of them what you can expect from a louse. But you take care of the lice, and the lice will take care of you. It is a symbiote. They're not spiders. I'm going to weave you something.
So lice mech suit to use in battle, not gonna happen.
Now, you could try to coax your lice to do other things, maybe, if you ever needed them pull like a needle out of a haystack, or to engage in mortal combat with one of the crabs that are in your southern beard, whatever it may be. They may whisper you secrets from other beards that they have been in.
Wait, my lice have been in another beard?
I don't know. Have they been?
I hope not. See, a good louse is a louse that
A loyal
can
louse?
be in one beard. There's something very like chauvinistic and horrible that might follow that I don't care to continue. Let's move on.
You know, to get down to the bottom of where the mines are, where your quarry may be, that you will first need to go through the area of the mountain that is known as the Stopes. It's a crowded, dusty, and desperate area. The former upper mines of Vessalberg.
So no weaving the beards together for to.
You
shimmy
can.
things.
That's
No,
probably
that was more towards the group. I just either that or I mean I do have the skill climbing as well, so I could
I climb on your
Sabrina?
back.
okay.
I'll climb on his back.
Okay.
You certainly could.
You're the only one with climbing.
If you want to,
Help you.
spend some of your silver pence and buy ropes, you can do that before you set off.
But
I only
can
have
make rope.
7.
Is there anything around that I can make rope with?
That's a great question. I would love for you either to make an applicable skill check based off of your background, or you can use the first luck check of the night. Every time that you test luck, regardless if it's successful or not, you lower your luck by 1 point. What way do you want to go about this?
Making a note of my luck tally. Hell, I'll do the luck.
Okay.
So
So just like you would like a skill check, you're going to roll 2d6 and you're trying to get under luck. So you're going to roll under 10, then you're going to reduce it down to 9.
all right, that is 8.
Okay. Tell me, how did you find the materials to make a rope, and what is it made out of?
So, seeing what I have going on, it looks like there's a lot of roots around, and being as a, I am a farmer, I would know which roots are stronger and sturdier than others, and while they're these two are comparing beards and lice count, I'm sitting there crisscross applesauce weaving myself as much of a root ridden rope as I can do.
Great. I'm going to say that counts as one standard use of rope. After a couple uses, we'll see if it still holds its integrity, but you have a fully functioning rope, at least equal to no less than 25 feet.
Can I weave this rope into some of the roots so that it is anchored so nobody has to tie it off or hold it up there at the top?
You can, but judging where you are, there aren't any areas for you to stand. It's going to be better for you to carry this rope with you.
Okay, carrying along.
Because you are going basically from a slum area on the distal edge of a downtown, going down into the really well excavated, very resource poverty areas called the stopes. And then from that, you're going down into the deeper mines, which are called the deeper delvings.
Got it.
So it's going to be a while before you really truly need the rope, but it's going to be really helpful now that you have it.
Out of curiosity, since the dwarfs have dug their way down, was any thrill-seeking / enterprising / cool dwarf in the past, did they ever put a slide in?
Hmm.
Can I roll for a slide check?
If you would like to, what would you have that skill be? I see that you've got cooking, organizing, scavenging, and healing as your skills.
Yeah.
Or you can make a luck check.
Scavenging or organizing, I feel like would make the most sense.
Don't you have a skill in finding sick-ass water slides?
I
Can.
if I could edit my character sheet.
That is decidedly a luck skill.
Okay, so I roll 2d6.
For what are you rolling it on? I need to know.
I am rolling it on organizing because I feel like I'm trying to organize us into finding a fucking sweet slide to slide our way down to the bottom.
Okay. What did you roll?
I rolled 7, a 2, and a 5.
That is exactly your skill.
Mhm.
So you are supposed to roll under instead of equal. So you just barely fail, and it's not your fault. The guild has done a phenomenal job of covering up the great slide incident. In fact, as you even begin to talk about the incident, the lawyers for the guild begin to pour out of various doors, buildings that were you think were abandoned, and they just give you the stare.
Oh,
Some of them don't even stroke their beard as they stare at you, and you know you shouldn't talk about the incident.
that's a bad sign. Yeah.
That doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, but officially it doesn't exist.
Well, darn. Here I was going to make fun and save us time.
I have a skill of gossip. Could I like listen around town and see if I can?
Are you trying to learn about the incident? Because it never happened.
Damn it.
But
It happened.
If we look behind a crate,
you have to look behind a waterfall, idiot.
I'm trying to find the entrance, the start of the line.
Okay. If you would like to take that, Doninas, and go further with trying to find out maybe where the slide may be, I will give that to you. Do you want to make the gossiping check?
Yeah, I want to do the gossiping check.
I want to hear you in your best Boar Beautician, like New Yorker accent, as you are trying to figure out where the slide may be.
And I'm doing my beautician. It's like, hey, I heard. I mean, I don't know if you heard this, but I heard it from Janice down the way that there used to be a slide in this area. And that like they just totally covered it up. They don't want anyone to know about it. I mean, isn't that kind of like messed up? Haven't you heard that?
Sounds like a messed up good time. Where's the slide?
So go ahead and roll me your gossip check. So you're trying to roll 2d6 and get under 9.
4.
Okay. So as all of the lawyers and solicitors, if you will, are very busy staring at our Hotpan Hero, Dudinas, you hear from someone who has heard from someone who has done a Hog Dog's Braids cousin's roommate tells you there is a slide and it's hidden in the stopes. In fact, roll me a d6. You say 6?
Mhm.
It is hidden near the smelters. It's in one of the old abandoned smelters near the newly erected ones, the ones with the big puffing billows that covers up the sounds of the occasional whee. It's where quality used to matter more than quantity. It's in a area where the forages are kind of on their last leg, and it's this that they use to hide where the slide is.
You just want to take a slide.
Yes, please.
Should we make him follow us at a safe distance so that they don't think we're with him?
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Yeah. Sorry. You got-
I'm just gonna go over that way.
Unless there is something that you're wanting to do to distract him, Folier.
Yeah. What could I do to distract them?
You tell me. You're the person that is a master of a skillet.
Yeah, I bang pot and pan. How? I don't have any ingredients on me, so it'd be kind of like whatever I could find around. We're kind of like trying to get down there.
Now, to be fair, because it is very small font, if you look at the special box on your character sheet, you do know how to stretch a meal to feed a group.
Yes.
And if you look at your weapon tab, one of your main weapons is a sack of edible filler.
Ooh, okay.
So-
So I've got like some potatoes. I've got some tree pulp. I've got some fungus that looks and smells to be edible. Yeah. I start clinking away, and I get a little sterno thing out and put my pan on top of it. Start mixing and tossing, and adding some lantern oil to the pan to like fry it up a little better. It's probably olive oil. I mean, that's combustible. You can burn that. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed you didn't say hog dog oil, because hog dog is the best
Hog dog.
combination of words here.
I didn't think about it. I'm sorry. I was thinking more like when I think hog dog, I also think of hog dog water, which is the way you recover after a long workout.
What
It's
flavor
got
are your
protein in it.
starfishes?
Starfish?
I know. you-
Gavin gets it. One of our viewers is going to get it and leave us one comment on YouTube, and we will be validated.
And that viewer will be me.
Oh, I'm counting on it now.
Come on, YouTuber. Come on.
All
Comment.
right, so Folier, go ahead and make me your cooking check.
Come on, low. I got to do it all to get back to Ian.
Sounds like you got low. All right.
Did you get 12s? What
Yeah,
did
I
you
got a
get?
12. I got 2 6s.
That's not low.
I
No.
love it. So I like this because as the scene, as it's being built, is that you have all these guild lawyers and solicitors having their eyes on you. You're trying to distract and pull away the suspicion from your other two compatriots by cooking something you are a master of, and you F it up. I want to know exactly what did you do wrong?
Well,
and what is the result?
I forgot that
It's not good.
I didn't buy olive oil to double duty as lantern oil. I bought kerosene. And I was just like, yeah, I bought olive oil because I'm a genius. And then I start cooking everything, and then just everything is burning in front of me as I try to I can save it. I just need to add more salt to put the fire out. I need to season it anyways. And so I got this really charred, really pungent smelling, burnt, salty potato starfish souffle.
I would like to offer an opportunity to yes and the situation.
Oh, sure.
You can either roll luck to make the situation better or worse, would you like to magnify how the situation is going?
Oh yeah, let's magnify it. We're
Are
early on.
Is the success to make this situation worse or better?
Either way, I can't lose.
Well, you need to decide what it is before you roll, so I know how to interpret the roll.
Let's make it better. Let's fail so hard I succeed.
I like it. So roll your 2d6 for your luck, and you're trying to get under 12, which is basically impossible not for you to do it. But then you subtract 1 to turn it to 11. What did you
Okay.
roll?
I rolled a 5 and a 6.
Okay, so 11. Holy crap!
Which
You
is under
almost messed up
12.
your luck roll. It's under 12. So you lose 1 luck, but you pass it. So tell me, how do you rectify? How does the situation go?
Turns out the type of kerosene that I have is like the same like aroma that they have at the food court at the lawyer's office. So they're just like, yeah, that smells normal. That actually smells great. And they are fans of jerky. So because everything is dried out and overcooked, I made some gourmet jerky.
Okay. So the miners union lawyers come over to feast on your. What are you calling this dish? It is half burnt, covered in toxic oil
And salt.
and salt. And you were calling it. It's clearly not hot pan.
No, it's not hot pan.
Hot pants.
Ooh, yeah.
I was gonna say beefy 5-layer burrito, but I don't think that's right.
I call it Taco Bell. No, yeah, I like hot pants. Like, come on up, get the first taste of the new and exciting hot pants. It's gonna taste so good, and it has little like calories, so you're gonna look good in those hot pants that you're gonna be wearing after you put these hot pants in your hot mouth.
I like how you describe that because that makes me think of Olean or Olestra for people who lived in the 90s.
Oh, the leaky
Yeah.
anus.
Yeah. My mom bought that stuff. She was so excited about those chips. And,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
I love the fact that we're probably gonna have like 1 or 2 Gen Alpha, Gen Z people. If you were not alive in the 90s, you need to look up Olean or Olestra chips, aka Wow chips. That's your homework. It was a real
whole
thing. Phenomenal. My favorite part was The Simpsons, where Homer took a bag of chips to the bathroom, said he was going to do some spring cleaning because, by golly, was that true? So, in essence, you have created Olestra omelets, and all of the lawyers from the miners union have chowed down. So you have all these guild lawyers and solicitors with a severe bout of what would be called chocolate rain. You have to breathe away from the mic. God, that's 20 years old now at this point.
Oh,
So as Folier has created this very effective and terrible distraction, Ulak Merrymane, and you tell me what you and Dodinus are doing as you are slinking down into the depths looking for this slide.
Oh, I prefer to go by long hole. You can just call
Long
me
hole?
Long
Okay,
Hole.
long hole. Do you know
Yeah.
that the slide is by this this foundry?
So let's go.
Well, my plan was if his little cooking demonstration didn't work out, I was going to use a rope that I just made and fashion into a lasso and rope him and try to drag him over while we find the slide and go. But it worked out.
I'm looking for a downward slope. That's basically
Not a downward spiral.
no. Well, unless it's a fancy slide.
yeah.
One more time with gusto. If we can make that a soundbite, my life, my like 3 to 4 years doing this show will have been worth it. I love it. So you're looking for these roaring smelters and puffing bellows. It's the last set of industry that are in the stopes. This place has been overly mined. It's a honeycomb of mines, and it's the upper portion of the mountain where the guild got their first riches. It shares in much with common with other mixed commercial residential areas of the city, except it's very tight. Old mines have been filled in with residential areas. There are places where there are still some excavations, but you can tell that it's dwindling. You know that the area that your gossip has told you is probably one of the more recent forges to have gone cold because this area has been over extracted. So it's probably not too hard to find. But as you're going through here, go ahead and roll me D6 long hole.
All right. Come on, big money. 3.
As you are slinking around looking for this very specific old forge, you happened upon Hepstead. It's one of the old headquarters of the miners' union, and it seems to be upturned with activity. There's been some type of recent burst of activity. You hear lots of frantic yells about some type of explosive bowel disease or disorder. There are people that are taking number after number from like a ticker tape, trying to like advocate for some type of issue. You hear people shouting for orders of work orders and also some type of OSHA violations. There is a whole bunch of activity. They seem very distracted, and you could easily slink past if you'd like to.
Let's do some slinking. Slink them if you got them, guys.
Yeah, I'm feeling slinky.
Then Ulok, are you going by Marymane or are you going by Ulok, or what is your nom de plume?
Let's go with Ulok.
All right. So you see that there's a lot of activity happening here. A lot of people are not paying overt attention, but you're going to still have to both of you slink past. I'm going to have both of you roll me a skill check. So you're rolling 2d6 right under your skill unless you have an advanced skill that applies. Alternatively, you can roll luck, but remember, every time you roll luck, you reduce your luck score by 1.
Yeah, I'm already doing a luck roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that didn't go much better, but okay.
So I've got acrobatics.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not exactly sure how I could possibly.
Are you
use
saying you
that.
failed your luck and you're switching to acrobatics?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I have not rolled yet.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm
I thought you
trying to
did.
decide which way I'm gonna go. I'll do luck. So I've got to get under 9. That's 4. So
Okay, so you passed, but what I'm hearing long hole is that you beefed it.
Both times, yeah. Even with my luck roll. So I lost a luck and I beefed it again.
Okay, so you've marked that. What did you do poorly and what happened?
So I was trying, like, if you imagine like a cartoon character sneaking, that was the posture I was doing. And unfortunately, my feet got tangled in my beard. And I ended up doing a somersault into a loud clanging pan.
Now, what are you wearing? You are a Boar Beautician. Are you currently dressed and look like your typical Boar Beautician? Or did you change into some type of more like surreptitious or like more clandestine gear?
No, I'm still fully aproned.
Okay. So you are fully aproned. As you clang into these pans, Ulok is unseen and slips past, but you stand out. These pots and pans, as you shake them off, you can tell this person is a guild leader by the length of their beard. It's so long they've tied it around not just one ankle, but both. That is how senior this dwarf is. Looks at you, sees your apron and your shears sticking out, and goes, we've been looking for you. Look, Bobinus, he shat his beard. We need you to go fix him up. That's what we hired you for, right? Yeah,
Yes.
you get in there. You get into the first bathroom and you clean him up.
Okay.
And
What do I find in the bathroom?
How common is for one to shed their beard?
never. Like, it is an affront upon one's honor. Like, you have disrupted your entire ecosystem. Like, the beard is sacred. But that speaks to the fact of what you serve these people. Like, you gave them lean and they defiled their own beard. So, like, this is not only, like, there are multiple levels of wrong here. The fact that he's even speaking this happened. So, are you, Longhole, following suit and following the directions, or are you running the other direction?
I think I'm going to try to run for it.
No one wants to go through this duty. Okay.
No.
No.
These are things that you don't expect to hear. Go fix a dwarf. Okay. So, thinking about the skills that you have, I will give you 1 round of action before you get pursuit from the guild. What do you want to do looking at your skills and the items you have? How do you want to get out of this scenario?
So, okay, so one of my skills is Boar Beauty, and I think that part of that with is that I'm very good at making someone believe that I'm still like listening to them, even though I'm not. So I'm going to say something that kind of trails off at the end as I just quietly leave, and they'll think I'm still right behind them.
Okay. I like this direction. Let's see what the dice say.
All right. Come on.
If you're trying to roll under 10.
I got a 9. That's good.
I love it. You're just like skirting under it. How does that play out? How do you lean into that to get out of this situation?
So the leading question I said was something about like how how those your girls treat you or something like that. And the guy who's the guard is like, yeah, I've been having a lot of trouble with my daughter lately. And he just starts he launches into a story like people always do in front of beauticians, and she's just gone.
I like it. So you have this senior guild director telling you what to do. He turns around, you give this whole spiel to his guard, and you somehow walk out of this. Meanwhile, Ulok, what are you doing as that whole scenario is playing out?
Being as I stealthily got out of the situation, probably due to the fact that Longhole took all the attention there. I'm going to take. I think I'm going to take the rope I made and try to tie it off on one side, so that once Longhole gets past, and if they're being followed, I could tighten said rope and trip the folks, so that we have a chance to get away.
I like it. So you've set up a kind of trip hazard.
Yes.
Okay, so you have that set up, and you're waiting for Longhole?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm assuming Folier's with us, right? Or
Almost. I'm going to pull him in just a second. As you're waiting, though, roll me a d6.
I will. 4.
Okay. As you are standing, waiting for your compatriots, there's no one else around you. In fact, as you are standing around, there's a thick fog of coal dust that just hangs around the air. and it begins to choke you. You have to breathe heavily through your beard, and you feel your lice climbing up around your mouth, almost plucking every little bit, every particle of coal dust out of the air and flinging it away so you can keep breathing. It's a pretty noxious fog, and you can see this is why people haven't been in this part of the tunnel for a while. And there's only one active forge. You're probably pretty close to where that slide is.
Beautiful.
Meanwhile, Foliar, you've served this pretty terrible concoction for anyone's bowels. How do you slip out of this scenario without the entire mob chasing out with pitchforks?
Well, I feel like I've already, to answer your question, I've already done it. The thing is, they can't chase me with pitchforks. They're all shitting their beards.
It's true, which is a terrible sin. I feel terrible of mentioning it twice now.
Well, I brought it up the second time, so it's not your fault that they shit their beards.
It's true.
Beard shits.
Sir, the more you say it, the more offended I'm getting.
Sir,
Tony Vacinda is just spinning around in his non-existent grave, and every time you say that.
but wasn't it delicious?
Yes.
Here, have a little bit.
The Doritos were worth it.
A little bit.
So as you descend looking for the rest of your compatriots, you hear an uproar about shitted beards, and the whole guild, the Miners Guild, is just aplumb with anger and frustration and frantic calls for buckets of water. You see a form slinking out of the shadows into the coal dust clouds that are rolling around these various old forages. What do you follow in pursuit of the figure that looks very much like your Boar Beautician, or do you take advantage of any of the chaos that is running through the guild?
I take advantage of the chaos.
Always.
Tell me about that.
Well, everyone is having explosive episodes.
No, they're having a beard shittingly good time.
We need to have like a beard shit count where like anytime it says beard shit. I don't think we've actually said beard shit so much in all the years of Wandering Monster.
Yeah.
It's a milestone.
Just remember this day at 10:53 Eastern Standard Time. The gang said beard shit for the 20th time.
That better be in your doodle, Mr. Paschke.
All right, it is now 10.
Oh no! Oh no! It's called Sooty Beards, not Shitty Beards.
No, beard shit.
All right, so I see you have scavenging as one of your skills. What are you doing in this chaos?
Looking for anything useful to help us on our way to get the uncle. Whether that's a bigger knife than our community knife attached to a wheel. We did need some rope earlier, but I think we got that covered. Better food for my friends. That
Once you go,
yeah.
are you thinking about rolling like a scavenge check, or you have a different action in mind?
No, I'm gonna scavenge some supplies for our adventure.
Okay. 2d6. You're trying to get 6 or under.
That was me holding up 2 fingers and doing that.
That means you got 11 or 2.
2 1.
Oh, that's
a
good.
1 and a 1.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay. At that point, so I'm basically going to say, especially for sake of Cyan, that you have a critical success. What is the thing you wanted most that you could have pilfered from the guild, food-wise?
Food-wise, actual oil and not kerosene. My bad.
Oh, it
Not
is
sorry?
hog dog oil, a vessel of extra virgin. All of the hog dogs were virgins that were squeezed into the bottle.
Nice. All right, so I got my hog dog oil. That's good. That'll be useful for both lighting things and
Hogging
eating.
and dogging.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was thinking it. Hogging and dogging.
Wait, Bridget, was that a sex thing?
No, I mean, unless.
I mean,
I mean, just kidding, unless.
maybe.
Okay. So we'll fast forward some frames. The guild is in chaos. There's a tripwire to trip up people that are pursuing you. You have hog dog extra virgin, unless olive oil, and you are able to start to find where the slide is. There's a cold forge that has been out of commission for a long time. In fact, Ulok, as you've been standing around kind of holding this vigil with your rope for some time, you find this slide that is built into this old forge. You can see that the coal pit is moved aside, and where the chute would be, it's been laid with hammered metal that makes a perfect slide down into the bowels of the mountain. The question is,
There it is. Okay.
who goes first, or how do you determine it's safe to go down?
Well, I see which one of my teammates here is running with the most intensity, and to gauge kind of what kind of situation we're in, and fuck it, I'll go first.
Okay. I don't want to, I've not required so many luck rolls in Troika at once, but I feel like going into the dark with the best of intentions like this probably requires a luck roll, unless you have anything else you can argue.
Awareness? Like, am I aware of how dangerous
Okay.
it possibly could be?
Okay, I will take that if you would rather roll awareness. Keep in mind that you have probably a higher chance with luck, but luck keeps getting smaller. So you tell me, luck or awareness.
I'm going to try awareness.
Is there anything else you're wanting to do with the equipment you have as you're sliding down, just for my awareness?
I will use my mountaineering hoe
Okay.
as to kind of slow myself down, as kind of like a break, be a speed up if I need to, apply pressure to slow down. And yes, so that's what I'll be doing.
Okay. And before you roll, to wee or not to wee when you go down the slide?
Oh, my friend.
Love it.
Let's roll these.
Okay, roll.
That's an 8.
Okay.
And my awareness is 6.
Okay. That does mean, before I adjudicate the outcome of that when you are in the second season of Flail, you have to integrate we somewhere.
Oh, I will.
Love it.
The Welsh wee.
I'm getting too much joy out of that. There are things that a GM enjoys and a good whee. So you are going down the slide. It is faster than you expected. So you sink your hoe into the slide to try to curb your speed, and you see that, well, utter darkness. It's only the sparks of the hoe that you drag behind you that give you little snippets of illumination. You see things that would curdle your beard. Skeletons that shouldn't belong in a coal chute. Thick cobwebs for terrible things that lurk below. And you know there are no spiders down here, so what is making a web? The deeper you go, you even begin to feel the eardrums begin to pop And after they even pop, you still keep descending. The end of your hoe begins to glow with the heat, and you have uncontrolled descent. The screech of the metal on metal as you begin to burn away layers and layers of your hoe, it curves half of it and it becomes going red hot, and you don't seem to be able to stop yourself at all. As you hit the end of this and you're in the bowels of the mountain, you feel multiple things at once. It comes in these little painful snapshots. You hear under everything a hum like tinnitus that is on steroids. You see clippets of sparks that arc through the air, of seeing something that looks like stalagmites, and then something that looks like maybe giant feet or just mal-shaped rocks, and then even deeper darkness as you smash into the side of something. Roll me 1d6.
That's 4.
Okay, you take 4 points of damage as you cartwheel into a rock, and then roll me d4, or you can roll a d2. Your choice.
All right. So the 4 damage comes off the stamina, right?
Correct.
All right.
You roll me d4 if you have it handy.
I do. 1.
You lose 1 tooth.
Ah,
That was his favorite tooth.
nah.
It was a molar.
It had a cavity, though. I mean, long term, it's going to work out.
He was
Well, I mean-
always able to identify it.
Well, and that's the thing, because the lice were in there trying to pick out all the cavity issue and was packing it with roots and stuff. And I mean, their job's done there. Let's just put it that way. Missing tooth.
So Longhole and Foliar, all you heard was wee, and then nothing. So it seems perfectly safe for you to go down
Yeah,
the slide.
let's throw ourselves down this thing.
Yeah. I go up to the opening and I refer to myself and some other people. That's to say we.
Gotcha. Foliar, so I guess you're cut in line and you're going down. Are you letting him Longhole go before
Yeah,
you?
I'm fine with it. I figure if nothing else, at least their broken bodies will catch my fall at the end.
Foliar, is there anything you're wanting to do skill-wise, or are you making a luck check to see how you make it through as you go down the slide?
Slides aren't a thing that you look down. Slides are a thing that you enjoy.
Thing that
Slides
you
are a thing that
blindly
you
trust.
accept. I slide.
You're
don't
not even
break.
rolling a luck to see if you make it through unfazed? Yeah, luck is
guess.
optional. It's always optional.
I trust in the fate of my GM. I jumped down the slide blindly,
Okay, great.
saying we.
I first want to hear the we and then roll me 2d6.
Wow!
Someone channel their Mario 64.
Yeah. That is a 6.
Total?
A 5 and a 1.
I like it. So there are spots on the slide as you go down where it is warm to the touch and you're not sure why it's so warm. Sometimes it singes some of the hairs on your tuchus, but when you hit the bottom, it's harder than you expect and you cartwheel. You hit one rock, a more different rock, a spongy rock that screams out when you hit him.
Rocks do that sometimes.
That rock is me, isn't it?
That rock is maybe you. And then you hit a more different rock.
Hmm.
And somehow you only take 6 points of damage. I'm going to guess in all of that, I think that probably Ulak absorbed a lot of your kinetic energy as you hit the slide. So Ulak, is for being a good sport and teammate, you're going to take another point of damage from the sheer noggin on Foliar. But you probably saved Foliar from hitting his hit on probably harder substances.
Yeah, he can't take too much more damage on that thing.
That was fun. Let's go again.
Now, long hole, you've heard two weaves, one more an aggressive weave than the other. What do you do as you go down? Are you wanting to use any of your skills to slow or curve your fall, or wanting to test luck, or are you going to raw hog dog it?
I'm gonna raw hog dog it.
All right, roll me 2d6.
3 and a 2, 5.
Okay. I will say at this point, instead of Ulok taking the brunt of all of that, you ping into Foliar, and Foliar take another point of damage, and Long Hole take 5 points damage as you go down this path. It's dark. You hear all kinds of weird sounds coming up from the shaft as you're going down it. It's going uncomfortably fast, but in the back of your mind, you know that regardless of what happens on this track, it is better than fishing out the various dingleberries out of beards and cleaning up dwarf lawyers, even if you were to break all of your teeth. The three of you make your way down here, having cartwheeled and splattered across the ground, and you have this sense that you are in the bowels of the earth. You are in the part of the mountain that is known as the Deep Delvings. Each of you feel a strange hum underneath the quiet of this place. It is exceptionally dark down here. None of you have a lantern lit because you just went down this very steep slide and you can't see anything in front of your faces, but you know that somehow, besides yourself, your three selves, you aren't alone down here. There's a force, and it is all around you and in you and beyond you.
Can I light my lantern?
Absolutely.
I would like to illuminate the situation.
You illuminate the situation. There's a bit of an uncomfortableness. You don't have the same oomph to your lantern when you light it. The lantern itself seems faint, as if it feels shy or timid, or if a flame could be somehow afraid or anxious. Down here, you see the earth has strange formations. Some of them what you've hit upon when you've come down the slide. There are gnarled twistings that don't look like they have been hit at all with a pickaxe or a chisel. There are just strange formations that seem helical or bidden by some strange mathematics. In the distance, you can see where there are tunnels where there have been mines, but there are more strange things that are natural out of the earth itself. Are any of you also lighting lanterns, or are you allowing for Ulok to have the only lit lantern?
Yeah, I'll fire mine up.
I stare at my lantern. I stare at my two containers. I'm like, shit.
Oh, did you not mark them?
Shut up.
Are you lighting one or not lighting one?
No, I'm staring at my containers, just be like, so I'm just gonna stand there with my kerosene and my hog dog oil.
Okay, Evan, roll me d6.
1d6.
I mean, you can roll 2d6, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay, 5.
Okay. As you are looking in the faint light of your two compatriots' lanterns, you see that there are some forms in the distance that look like bodies, but they also seem to be moving slightly. Pale, very gangly dwarves that seem to be scampering away from the torch or from the lamp light of Long Hole and Ulok. They don't seem to react to you or turn to you when you see their backsides as they hide into the shadows.
Fun. Did you guys see the descent over there?
Oh, yeah. Jeez. Yeah. Would have saw it
Sure, it's
better.
fine.
Fire up your lantern. Let's see what we got going on.
All right. I
Just take a chance.
open up the cap and give a sniff, and then I decide whether or not to put it in. I'm gonna say it's the hog oil. I pour it into my lantern and then I light it.
You saying you do or don't know?
I'm gonna say that it is. I'm not saying that I know. I didn't roll for it.
Then roll me odds and evens, and you tell me.
I got a D2 for that, baby. Odds, it's the kerosene. You cannot land on your side. You have one job. Jesus. That's a 1. So it's odd. So it's kerosene.
Kerosene. So you illuminate your light with a dirty, sooty whoomph. It's slightly brighter than your two compatriots, but it gives off way more smoke, and it keeps gurgling as if it's choking itself. The weird, pale, gangly people that you saw are gone.
Oh, good.
Someone else roll me a d6 as you are down here. And
All
Pashki,
right.
if you refresh your camera, you are somehow very fuzzy.
Yeah.
I got a
Uh,
4.
Okay, a 4. As you're down here, there is a whoomph sound. And as you stand here, a network of lamps and reflecting mirrors light up, showing a way, it looks like, back up to where you came from. It almost seems uncomfortably suspicious. Like all of a sudden you come down here and now you see a lighted path out of here. Around you, as you look, you see that there are tunnels leading in various ways that seem to be deeper or beyond this central chamber. You're not sure what this place is, if it was naturally carved or not, but you see a very clearly exit path out of here.
Do we trust it?
Well, do we want to get out of here? Or do we have to kill Uncle White?
I thought we were here to kill Uncle Whitey.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess we could still do that.
I mean,
If you want, I mean, we came here. If you don't want to and you just want to leave, I mean, I will do the slide again.
I know you'll do the slide. I'm not doing that slide again.
It was fun.
Was it?
What you said we
Stop telling him how to have fun.
I'm not telling anybody to hell how to
beard
have it.
shits.
Oh, that's not fun.
Do you want to go back
21.
up to? Do you want to go back up to beard shits?
I don't want to go back up.
22.
I'm just
23.
saying, those are our choices: kill Whitey or go deal with beard shits.
24.
I'm fine with killing Uncle Whitedamp.
Okay.
That's what we're sent down here for.
All right. So why are you making this an issue?
I'm not making it an issue. You're making it an issue.
I'm all about just being here in the moment. Okay. Anyone hungry?
Yeah, kind of.
Mhm.
Want me to make a stack?
Are you stopping to cook here in the middle of everything?
I don't really think I need to.
Yeah, that doesn't tell me if you are or are not doing the
No,
action.
I am not actually doing the action. It was a goof.
So, it sounds like you're staying down here and you're hunting for this Uncle Whitedamp.
Mhm, mhm.
That's what the
All
letter
right. So you know that this is a proverbial boogie person, a boogie them, if you will. A gangly, strange, strong, an entity of which there are lots of conflicting reports of what they look like. How are you to hunt for them down in this place? You see there are many hidey holes and tunnels that lead deeper from here. There are strange natural earth formations that seemed uncomfortably yet unnatural, yet wholly naturally formed. How would you hunt something down here?
Should have brought a hunter down here.
I've got scissor skills. Good scissor.
Nailed it. Perfect.
I got some oil that might help with that.
My awareness goes
And one that
I'm
really
aware
won't.
Don't know which is which.
Oh my gosh.
But seriously, if this is real rusty, you could put some oil on there,
Yeah.
and that would
Mhm.
make them more useful to
Mhm.
cut with.
For people who do end up backing the book or purchasing a copy, there are pictures of Uncle Whitedamp on pages 38 and 39.
Oh, I'm gonna go look.
I kind of want to look too.
I'm looking.
Well, here is the music that Charles makes while we all look at a
Oh
thing to
no, I
kill
don't care
time.
for that.
What my singing?
Too late
No,
now.
I don't care for Uncle Whitedamp here.
Oh, we
Go-
definitely got to get him now.
I gotta scroll this way. 7, 8.
Is there
9.
any like sign of footprints or tracks or anything?
If you would like, you can always make a normal skill check. You can always roll luck, but again, that's constantly going down. Or you advocate to me what advanced skill you're using and in that context.
Well, I tried awareness last time, and I don't think that worked out for me. So I'll try it again. I would like to be aware of any sort of footprints or anything that lead into a direction. I know that there were some figures that were off in the shadows that dipped out. So
Okay.
Go for it.
moving on. That's a 9.
As you look, there are too many types of footprints down here going in different directions. You're not seeing anything that's leading you in any direction. Long hole, is there anything you're wanting to do?
I don't think I have anything useful I could do right now.
If you would like a suggestion, I am happy to provide one.
Yes, please do.
As a Boar Beautician, working with Boar Beauty is one of your skills. You would be very well versed with working with all kinds of natural hairs and fibers. I could see you using that skill to look at fibers on the ground to determine directions of hair patterns, to see if anything might be fresher or something like that to find spore.
See if I recognize any hair, maybe.
Just
I
saying.
do work with a lot of wigs.
Mm,
All right, yeah, let's do an
you
investigation.
might have extra wigs on you.
I do have an extra wig on me.
Just one?
Just one.
Hmm.
You also have a pig-eared copy of Lifestyle magazine.
Mm-hmm. Emphasis on the sty.
I love the writing in this.
I do
It
too.
is phenomenal.
It's very clever.
I like it.
Oofda. Oofda.
All right, yeah, so let's look for some hair.
What did you roll?
4. It loves 4 today.
I love it. So that is way under your Boar Beautician skill. You find all kinds of different hairs. The hair that you see a lot of seems to be very bristly, as if a lot of beard hair that's come off in various colors. But what stands out is the plethora of stark white hair that isn't curled like a lot of good beards or have a lot of lice bites in it, but bristly, straight hairs. Like it would look like whiskers of some type of felid or other creatures, but there's a lot of it. And you can see it's traced back to a hole in the opposite direction of where those very weird pale creatures were crawling. They seem to have been crawling away from this place.
Hmm. Yeah, I think he's in there, guys.
Perfect.
So we saw the creatures crawling away when one lamp was there, or I saw it. No one else in the group actually saw it, correct?
They didn't say they weren't looking. I was just saying that was the main thing you were doing since you weren't doing anything at the time. If either of them would like to, they can say that they saw the pale, strange dwarves as well.
Okay. I was just asking because then I would probably put my lamp back off to see if I can see them again. So, like, snuff out my flame, have another look-see-poo.
Up to you.
Yeah.
As a group, would you want to make a plan?
All right, gang. Dwarf huddle.
Dwarf huddle.
All right. I'm really glad that we have an even number of horns amongst the group.
Yeah, I feel good about that.
Yeah, it's 6 horns total. I have 1 horn on my helmet.
I have 2.
No, you
I have-
don't.
I have the other 3.
No, you actually you both got that wrong. You should learn to check your helmets.
Well, I'm wearing it. I can't see it.
Well, I'm telling you now, being the person that's looking at your helmets, you have 2 horns, you have 3 horns. Also,
but
the trilby with horns, not the best look.
My lady.
You're not my dad.
Suddenly, Creed starts playing. With dwarfs wide open.
Mhm.
All right, so I'm gonna put out my lantern, and we're gonna see if I can see him again because I saw him before that way. You're saying that's the opening over yonder.
Yep.
Who brought a weapon?
I've got scissors, surprisingly sharp scissors. And then
I've
we've
got-
got this communal knife.
I've got a half shaved off mountaineering hoe.
I've got oil and kerosene.
Ah.
So,
Do we need to bring any proof of this guy back, or can we just torch him and run if need be? I
think
don't remember the note. We should probably maybe
Instructions unclear.
You gotta probably verify that we killed him somehow.
Probably. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Toenail clippings, got it.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot. So we go in, we cut off his toenails, we set him on fire, and we scissor him to death.
Mm-hmm. Sold.
Maybe not in that order. Maybe scissor first.
Speaking of scissoring to death, roll someone, and just one of you roll me a d6.
I'll do it. 4.
Okay.
Oh.
What was your plan overall as a group?
Scissoring.
Toenail
Scissoring.
clippings. Yes, mostly scissors.
As you were discussing scissoring, from that hole where you see all of those hairs coming from, long hole, you start hearing a that begins to grow louder, as if there was a susurrus of choirs of humming people, this discordant overlapping of sound growing and swelling louder, interspersed with this loud barking coughing. You see something stirring in the hole, and for a second you think in the lamplight of both of your lamps, something like jewels or polished lumps of coal flash, reflecting the light of your lamps. You think they might be eyes staring at you.
I throw my watering can at it and scream, "Hey, can't you see we're having a huddle over here?"
It disappears out of the hole.
Shit.
That was
the thing we're-
effective.
That was the thing we're supposed to get, isn't it?
I appreciate the personal space, though.
Yeah.
The hole over yon, you hear the and it's louder and more insistent.
I mean, it sounds like it's suffering. We should probably go put it out of its
Yeah,
misery.
he
He
Anyway.
probably hired us.
Mhm.
I have a feeling it's gonna be one of those whack-a-mole sort of things too. If he's just popping in and out of different little caverns.
Holes.
Mhm. So should we all pick a hole and try and see if we can get to go to the one with the scissors?
Yes, and I'll start walking towards where I threw my watering can.
Which is towards the hole where it
The first hole.
seemed to have gone away from.
Yes.
Okay. So you walk over to that hole and you see there's a little dent in your can. And it's pretty close to where the hole is. You hear the sound from the other hole and it stops humming as you bend over to pick up the can.
Okay.
You grab the can.
Well, I'm grabbing the can, yeah. And I'm going to take my lantern and put it into the that's right in the camera. Into the hole.
All right. As you lean over and grab the watering can, two pale, stark as white snow hands reach out of the hole on gangly pole-like arms and grab you. You hear a sudden shown to be this terrible loud sound that washes over you, and you are sucked into the hole.
Can I use an acrobatics roll to not get pulled in?
I would absolutely. It will be our first opposed roll. So now you're rolling 2d6 and adding your acrobatic roll.
Oh, fantastic.
And we'll see who rolls higher.
I got 11.
Oh, that's surprisingly good. I will add. Oh, I roll. There we go. Sorry. I rolled way too many dice. Okay, and so you had 9 total?
I had 11.
11 total.
Yeah.
Okay, so you pull yourself at the last second. The hand that is trying to pull you in scrabbles across your body, raking weird nails across you. It grabs your trusty watering can and rips it from your grip, and it takes it. There's a sound of crunching, like rotting teeth that are biting into tin foil. And all of a sudden, out pops out of the hole just the spout of your watering can. The hum sound not only now comes from the hole in front of you, but the hole across from you, behind you, and even above you. It is a wash of sound, and you see that there aren't just one of these very large white Yeti-like creatures, but multiple, and all of their eyes are upon you. That lit pathway that was going up suddenly extinguishes, and it goes even darker in here. The humming gets louder and louder, and you know this is going to be quite the feat to get out of here, to get that bounty that you were promised on that white piece of paper. And that can be a place that we can actually kind of draw this initial little playthrough into Vessalberg to a close, as to allow people to have more opportunity to explore the depths of this region and the many other regions that are in Sooty Beards. This is but one of like 9 different core areas that you can explore as both either a native Vessalbergian, one of the different factions and types of dwarves or outsiders that come to this mountain. But with that, before we kind of draw to a close, as we have a couple of people here with different projects, are there any announcements that you would like to make from either the world of Flail to the Face, or Bridget, from your author perspective?
I need to write. That's
Tuesday, my desk, Bridget.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Okay, I guess I can jump in. Flail of the Face season 2. Gonna be recording soon. We just did character creation for part of the season, and that was fun. I also have another show that I do. It's called Whispers of the Dying Lands, where we me and my friend
Mostly praise me. That's what I'm hearing.
so yes, it is
Beat
basically,
boop.
Yeah, it's basically me and my friend Alaskos. We interview content creators in the Merkborg universe and whatever their projects are, their upcoming Kickstarters, and basically just praise Ian in his absolute greatness. So check it out. Find it on wherever you listen to podcasts. So that'd be cool.
Then, unless there are any interesting announcements from you, Mr. Pashke, I will go with.
Got nothing.
Mhm.
Nothing.
Do you want to provide any sage words of wisdom of how to differentiate hog dog oil from kerosene and olestra?
Mostly it's the smell. If you drink it and you find yourself shitting into your beard, having the beard shits, then it's probably the kerosene. But I'm not ruling out the hog dog oil. How old is the hog dog oil? Where did you source it? If it's the Kirkland brand hog dog oil, you're fine. If it's the Sam's Club brand hog dog oil,
Doomed.
probably not sure. It's up to you, man.
Pashke, I love that had all of the vibe of the Woodstock announcement. Don't take the brown acid. That is what I'm hearing. Stick with the Kirkland hog dog oil.
Can I just say that I'm really upset we didn't get to snake goats?
There's a lot of fun things in the book. There are lots of great areas, and I think that people who back this book and buy a copy are going to have a lot of fun lore that they can play with or use in their various campaigns. There's even a little bit of a way to use this book, not only just for Troika, but for like D20 based systems. But I refuse to believe that those D20 systems exist. You'll take the Troika book out of my cold hands. And speaking of which, we thank you for joining us on this consensual journey. I have, for this duration, been Ian Servas.
I've been Bridget Brave for all durations.
I'm still Kevin Welch for the time being.
I have been and will be your Mr. Pashke.
You've completed another Wandering Monster adventure. Click subscribe, leave a review, mark experience on your sheet, and we'll see you next time.